Hi guys, welcome to today's video. It is time to do speed reviews of many products that I picked up this spring. Some of them in the Sephora savings event, others just moments of weakness. I have given you initial impressions of many of these products. Some of them I have done check-ins, but I feel like I have tested them thoroughly enough now to give you my final verdict. I have changed my mind about some of these products. If all of that sounds good to you, then let's get into this first product category, which is lips. All right, guys, before we get going, I will list all of the products I'm going to be talking about today in the description box below. I'm actually wearing many of these products because I wanted to give them one final test before I filmed. And so I will let you know which products those are. And starting off with lips today, I am actually wearing the Phantom Gloss from Hourglass. I love this lip product. It is a plumping gloss but it is in a lipstick format and you just sort of twist it up. This is the shade Desire. And fortunately for me, as someone who is sensitive, this is a plumping product that does not burn, it does not tingle. It does have sort of a cooling sensation on the lips, and that creates sort of the plumping. But I have really been enjoying this product. It gives me just enough plumping. It is high shine. I love the color payoff on this, and I would definitely recommend this lip product to you. As well as this next lip product, I actually applied this at the very beginning of my makeup routine today. I am talking about the Clarins Lip Oil in Cherry. This is an absolutely beautiful formula. I do wish that the doe foot applicator was a little bit smaller. That is pretty wide, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I've noticed, and I think this is because of how large the doe foot applicator is that sometimes if I'm not really careful and paying attention, I end up with some of it in the corners here. I'm applying too much product, going too far out given the size of this applicator. So I do have to be a little bit careful there, but I absolutely love the way that this feels on the lips. It is extremely nourishing. It has a nice shine to it, and it does leave behind a stain. So it is a great product as that first lip product in your routine. Now, unfortunately, my mind has changed a bit on this next product, and I do have two shades of this. Some of you who have been watching me may be surprised to hear that I am less thrilled with the Kulfi lip oil stains than I was initially. I was blown away by these when I first tried them out. I have First Sorry, and I believe this one's called Sweet. I think both of these are really beautiful when you apply them. They do have, I think, a really nice applicator. It is sort of smaller and thinner, which allows you to get some precision if you were trying to create a lip line. Here's the thing. These do create a stain, but what I noticed over time, the staining is not even. Even when I am sure that I have applied it evenly across my lips. I still like these, but they definitely are not the banger products that I initially thought they were. So I don't think that I will be repurchasing these in these shades or other shades. Next, let's move on to foundation and skin tint. I picked up two products during the spring. First, we have the Makeup Forever Super Boost. This is a skin tint product, and we have the Givenchy Prism Libre. This is the serum foundation. I am not in love with either of these. The Makeup Forever, this is actually what I am wearing today. I initially thought it was really cute and fun that it had this little push button thing. I later learned from watching Patty Alonso that you can just squeeze the tube. You don't have to use the pump at the end. It's actually much easier to get the product out. It is a very low coverage product because it is a skin tint. The bottom line is I am just more comfortable with a little bit more coverage than this provides. So it really is just a matter of personal preference. If a skin tint is your thing, I think that this product performs well. On the Givenchy product, I am wondering if this is a better foundation for me in the winter months, because while I think it goes on really beautifully, it definitely ends up dewier by the end of the day than some of my favorite foundations. And so I'm wondering if maybe if I try this in the winter time when my skin is a little bit drier, if this will hold up better over the course of the day. It's really just a matter of longevity. Maybe if you were going out to just a nice dinner or something like that, and you weren't going to be wearing this and having to look good for 8 to 10 hours, then this would be great. For my day-to-day, I prefer something that is going to stay pretty intact and somewhat mattified throughout the course of the day. I also tried 2 new contour products that were released this spring. One of them is the Rare Beauty Contour, and the other is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm actually wearing both of these today in different locations. I applied the Anastasia Beverly Hills along the jawline and underneath the cheeks and a little bit along the hairline. And then I applied a little bit of this Rare Beauty down the nose and tried to use it to sort of thin out the tip of my nose. Both of these are really great contours if you're a little bit afraid of contours. And the reason that I say that is because they both blend out pretty well. You know, you need to be careful that you don't apply too much so that it spreads further than you want a contour to spread. They're pretty goof proof, both of these, and I would still recommend either of these to you, especially if you are fair skinned and looking for a cooler toned contour. I picked up one new powder during the spring, and that is the Givenchy Prism Libre Pressed Powder. This is the one that has the 4 color quadrants. Many say that this was in response to the reformulation of their loose powder that ended up being sort of a shimmery formula instead of the OG, which is matte and is my holy grail. I wanted to test this out because, of course, the loose powder is a bit messy. I am happy that I picked this up. This is the powder that I am wearing today. I just grabbed my BK Beauty powder brush and swirled through all the colors and patted this in to really sort of set the center of my face. I think it looks really lovely right now. It is not as effective, I think, as a setting powder. I think it is great as a touch-up powder. And the reason that I am saying that is because I have noticed that it doesn't maintain that sort of mattified, perfected look for as long as the loose powder. This is, I think, a great addition if you love the OG Prism Libre loose setting powder and you want to use that day to day to set your face when you first get dressed in the morning. And this is more sort of on the go, throw it in your bag. You can touch up if you need to. If you do use this as your setting powder in the morning, I think that you just have to be prepared to touch up during the day, which, you know, is not exactly the end of the world, but I typically just don't think to do that, guys. I mean, aside from obsessively putting things on my lips over and over again throughout the day, mostly lip balm, I just don't think of doing this and really don't wanna have to. So, this is a great product, but, just think about what your makeup goals are and how it might best be incorporated into your routine. Let's talk about blush. You will not be surprised to hear me say that I have one, two, three, four blushes here to talk about. It is entirely possible that there are more that I've picked up and I just can't think of them right now. And I mean, I do have some other blushes that I've picked up even more recently, but I'm still testing those. So these are the ones that I am ready to talk about today. First up, let's talk about the Rare Beauty Matte Bouncy Blush. I got mine in the shade Hope. You've heard me talk about this one a lot. I absolutely love this blush. It is such a great formula to work with. It is really beautifully creamy. Once you apply it and sort of blend it out, and I just sort of blended that a bit, it does go into more of sort of a powdery consistency. I find that it stays really well throughout the day. It's fun to apply. I absolutely love this blush. Let's talk about the Saie Super Suede Powder Blushes. I have also fallen in love with both of these. I first picked up the shade Grazie, and then I picked up Amore, which is this fantastic fuchsia. So there are those two shades there. So this is the Rare Beauty, and then you've got the two Saie blushes. These are absolutely stunning on the cheeks. This is a baked formula, and it is also designed to be blurring. Love. Love, love, love. I just picked up another shade, even though I promised myself I wouldn't do it, but I think that I now have more Saie blushes than any other brand, and I have more of these Super Suede blushes than any other blush, period. The blush that I am wearing today is a fairly soft, I think natural looking blush. This is actually the loose blush that is the Givenchy Prism Libre blush. It does have radiance to it, so it is not a matte blush, and again, I just think it's so beautiful and natural looking. I'm trying to get these other blushes off my fingers. These are the ones that I just swatched for you guys. Look at that. I mean, when the swatches stay like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick some up on my finger here. That is the Givenchy blush. You can definitely tell, I think swatched next to the other ones and in my lighting, that this is a radiant blush. I find that it's kind of hard to overdo it with this blush, which is, again, great. I want goof proof when I am looking for blushes. So another hit. I feel like it would be hard for me to say that I hated a blush. I'm trying to think of a blush in my collection where I would go, eh. I love them all. Does this mean you can't trust me on blush? I don't know. I don't know. I do. I love so many of them. It's such a fun product. But there just have been so many great blush releases. We have one mascara to talk about. This tube is a stand-in for that mascara to remind me to talk about it because I have already used it up, talked about it in my empties video, and thrown the tube away. I am talking about the Prada Scope Mascara. This is a product where I have changed my mind on how I feel about it. I was really excited about this mascara and enjoyed using it. When I first got it, I felt like it really helped create sort of this lengthened lash look, especially on the outer corners, giving the unique nature of the brush. But I turned around one day and there was just no more mascara, or it was completely dried up. I don't know what happened. I mean, I know that I closed the top correctly. So if it dried out, that's really strange. If it is the case that I simply used it all up, that means there was not nearly enough mascara in that tube for the price point of that mascara. So I will not be repurchasing that mascara, and I am here to not recommend it to you today. The next thing that I want to talk about is this Easy Bake Setting Spray from Huda Beauty. This is the one that has the little ball in it that you shake it up and then you do your spritzing. I am wearing this today as well. I'm not crazy about the sprayer on this one. So my holy grail is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Setting Spray. This one, I continue to struggle with knowing, like, has it hit my face? Did I get enough? I don't know if it's because it is really designed to really mattify and lock down. And so there's sort of this powdery element to it. And I don't know if that's affecting the way that it feels when it hits my face. And so I can't tell how much has hit my face. I don't know if that makes sense, but it definitely makes it harder for me to judge, stop, or keep going. I feel good about the amount that I applied today. I do think that it's a beautiful product once applied. It lasts really well, holding the makeup in place. And I think it's great to use if you've used a product that is dewier and you want to sort of bring it to a little bit more of a mattified look and make sure it locks in. So performance-wise, I'm pretty happy with it, but I think there's something about the formula that makes it difficult for me to tell if it's hit my face and whether I need more or it's just right. So I don't know that I would actually repurchase this one. We are going to wrap up today's speed reviews talking about fragrance. I finally jumped on the Fleur bandwagon during this past Sephora savings event. I bought 2 of these travel size. I got Vanilla Skin and Not Your Baby. The Vanilla Skin is just, it's so intoxicating. I even spray this on myself before I go to bed when it's just me. It's just me, but I love it so much. There's something so comforting and delicious about the fragrance that I love going to bed with it on. It just makes me feel good going to bed. Not Your Baby, I also like. I don't reach for it as much as the Vanilla Skin. It is a little bit sweeter. I also picked up a sampler of Fleur fragrances. I have not made my way through all of these, but 2 that I have tried that I really, really love that are not really sort of traditional fragrance types for me would be Missing Person and Father Figure. So these are just in these little bitty babies. I think there might have been, I don't know if it was 8 or 10. I mean, I'll have all the info down below, but these are the 2 that I have sort of grabbed and played with more, and I really think these are great fragrances. They are a little bit more on the unisex side, but that may be why I actually like them. So yes, I am just continuing my Fleur fragrance journey. So guys, that wraps up today's speed reviews. We knocked right through that. I hope that you enjoyed getting these updates. I have a lot of products that I am testing right now, so I will have another speed review coming soon. Please subscribe if you haven't already and give me a thumbs up before you go. It really helps my channel. I hope you have a great day. Bye.